And we now cross live to Echo Hotel here in Lagos for the second stakeholder meeting of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. RRI's correspondent Leila Johnson-Salami is there with updates. Good to have you this afternoon, Leila. Thanks for joining us. Can you give us an update on what has transpired in the last couple of minutes, if not hour?
Good afternoon, Hawa and Vimbai. Lovely to be with you too. So this is the second stakeholders meeting for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway that took place today. Most people got notifications about this happening just yesterday, and quite a lot was announced. First of all, the Federal Minister of Works has announced compensation for businesses and people located within the first 3 kilometers of the coastal road so far. Compensation to the tune of about 2.75 billion naira. There were also changes to the alignment of the road, which was also announced today. Now, if you recall, with all of the demolition that's been going on at Landmark Beach, what was initially expected was for the road to veer left and join back onto Water Corporation Drive. However, what's happening now is the road is going to be divided into 2. The route going towards Calabar is going to be on one side, and the route coming towards Lagos is going to be on the other side. Now, this is going to cut across several businesses, but the federal government claim that this is the best way to do it without causing with minimizing damage as much as they can. However, there are still many businesses affected by this new decision, including more beach tourism sites like the Good Beach, like Sol Beach, and also communities a bit further down, like Okun-Aja, for example. I'm actually joined now by a member of the Okun-Aja community who today expressed how aggrieved he was at the decision by the federal government to change the original alignment. Sir, thank you very much for joining me. What are your thoughts on the new alignment that's been announced?
We are not happy with the new alignment. Originally, there is a plan from the Lagos state government. The coastal road has been planned as far back as 2006. So I don't know the reason why should the Federal Ministry of Works now come and have a new alignment in which is going to affect the whole community of Okun-Aja.
Someone from your community mentioned earlier in the stakeholders meeting that the new alignment is also just going to run through several ancestral homes. Yes. So can you expatiate on this a bit more?
You see, let me tell you one thing. This when we are talking about the coastal alignment, the village has been there for, I can say, from century. And now the village is now going to be furnished with this new alignment, which is not okay for us. We are not happy with it.
So what are you expecting the federal government to do now?
We want the federal government to maintain the usual place which the Lagos state have already approved for the coastal road.
And if the federal government don't do that?
They don't do it. We have a new alignment now, which...
No, I'm asking, if they don't maintain that original alignment that you want them to maintain, what will your response be if they don't?
We don't know what's going to happen when our village is going to be no more existing.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you all very much. So as you can see, there are several people here today who are aggrieved by the decision to change the coastal alignments, but the federal government continues to say that it's in the best interest of Nigeria and they're doing the best that they can. Compensation is expected for people affected even beyond the first 3 kilometers. The compensation that was handed out today is just the first bit of compensation. So it is going to be ongoing. Very soon I'm going to be heading down to communities past Landmark to see if any demolitions may continue to take place today and what's going on, because as we know, this is moving very quickly.
Leila, thank you so much for your commitment to this story. It's such an important development. Now, I understand that you had the opportunity, unfortunately, we were technically down at the time. You had the opportunity to ask the minister a question. Can you shed a little bit more light on the interaction that you had with Minister Dave Umahi during the stakeholders Q&A?
Absolutely. Well, to ask a question as much as he would let me, I had to ask the minister about the environmental impact assessment for this project. Now, according to the EIA Act of 1992, no project of this nature can be carried out without an approved environmental impact assessment, and it's the Federal Ministry of Environment that approves the assessment once it's been submitted. Now we understand that the ESIA for this particular project is in the works. What the minister is trying to say is that they have preliminary approval, but not final approval. Now, I haven't seen anything with regards to preliminary and final approval in the EIA Act of 1992. Maybe I need to go back and do my own research, but to the best of my knowledge as it stands, you cannot start a project without an approved EIA, and that's what it looks like. However, people on the ESIA team did come up to me after that interaction, and they said that they would share information with me going forward. So let's see what they do share, because it's important that if they do have any source of approval, the media has access to that. Because as it stands right now, what it looks like is they've just gone ahead with this project without an approved EIA, which quite frankly, to the best of my knowledge, is against the law.
Wow, and that is a lot of work that is to be done still. It seems like you have quite a few individuals who are, or even probably stakeholders who are flocking to the side of you. It seems like everyone wants to have their piece heard. Can you tell us what the environment was like inside of the stakeholders meeting, amongst the stakeholders?
Well, it was very full in there today. A lot of concerned people expressing their thoughts. You know, there are a lot of ancestral homes that are going to be damaged, communities that have been in certain locations for hundreds and hundreds of years. And one thing the minister said, he said to someone who expressed their worries was, "Are you living in the past?" And I didn't think that was the kind of response that you should give in a situation where people are talking about their ancestral homes being taken away from them. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to big projects like this, and let me reiterate, it is very important for Nigeria to have a coastal highway. We are a coastal nation, and it's very, very important for us to develop this road. But what's equally important is how we go about it. You know, they keep on saying, they being the federal government, that they're putting a human face to this project. From what I saw in that room today, yes, they have given compensation out, which is great, you know, but from what I saw in that room today, you could tell that there are lots of people who are going to be affected by this in ways that money can't necessarily solve. And what exactly is the government going to be able to do about that? I think all of the changes and alignments, the new announcements that keep happening, the ups and the downs, the quickness and the pace at which things are moving, I think a lot of it is just too much for some people to take in. So the mood was very mixed in there today. You also had people who were very in support of what the government is doing, but it was a full room. There was a lot of information shared, and I'm pretty sure there will be more stakeholders meetings going forward.
Right, Leila Johnson-Salami, Arise special correspondent, thank you so much for this. Listen, I know the story is going to continue to develop, and it seems that the authorities are responding to these reports and this excellent coverage that you know, yourself and many others across the media fraternity are doing. So please do keep it up, and we look forward to more updates.